आज का बिल्ड काफी स्पेशल है। RTX 4090 के कई सारे बिल्ड होते हैं, लेकिन इसमें दो RTX 4090 and it doesn't end there. Very soon हम लोग इसको दो 4090 के साथ और दो 4090 डालेंगे और इसको लिक्विड कूल करने वाले। Now let's talk about why we are making this build in the first place. Very quickly, let's run through the specifications of the build. It has a Threadripper 5955WX, 16 cores, 64 into 228 GB ECC memory, two RTX 4090s from Zotac, a 2000 watt PSU, and get this, 16 Noctua Fans. I repeat, 16 Noctua Fans in the humongous Lian Li V3000 Plus. So if you're not familiar with why people build multi-GPU system, it's not for gaming. कोई फायदा नहीं है. Now you can watch this video for a detailed answer on why people build this. But to summarize, there are three main applications for a multi-GPU system. Machine learning and AI being the first, 3D and VFX मतलब rendering वगैरह के लिए. Number 2, rendering farms in specific, उनमें बहुत सारे GPU लगते हैं. And finally, color grading. तो ये build हमने बनाया है for one of India's leading top क्यों बोल रहा हूँ? So ये build हमने बनाया है one of India's top AI researchers के, and they needed a build for training a large language model. For those who don't already know what that is, it's basically ChatGPT, Siri, Amazon Alexa, Google Assistant, जैसी चीज. They are different because these are extremely large models with hundreds and billions of parameters that are trained on GPU servers. But what if you needed to make a chatbot for a specific application like Swiggy? Not that Swiggy छोटू है, Swiggy मस्त है. आया क्या अपना? Order करे थे. Now these are called use case specific language models. So if you've noticed the configuration, you notice that we've chosen only a 16 core processor and only 128 GB RAM. But there's a very specific reason why we choose this configuration. क्योंकि ये एक text based AI model है. It's a language model जिसकी files are not as large as video or image based AI models, which can actually take up terabytes of data, and they would actually need much larger RAM and probably a much bigger core वाला CPU to actually process that properly. So we optimize the complete budget to get the fastest training time. Obviously, if the need arises for video-based models in the future on this build, the RAM can easily be upgraded. इसमें already 128 है, it can go up to 512. In fact, the chipset itself supports up to 2 terabyte of memory. And coming to why we took two 4090s, it's actually very simple. We get double the performance. The benchmarks are on your screen. जैसे कि आप देख सकते हो, TensorFloat 32 का training throughput, or in simple words, the number of training examples processed per second is 1.3 to 2 times better depending on different architecture. Similar story with the FP16, यानी कि floating point 16 up to 1.8 times better performance than a 1390. Now these improvements are when you're comparing the performance with a 1390, mind you. And once you add another GPU, the scores are just off the chart. It's 2 times better than two 3090s put together. And this is the reason why कई सारे लोग multi GPU systems बनाते हैं, because the performance scales proportionally to the number of GPUs, sometimes even more. Similarly, अगर आप 3D rendering के benchmark देखोगे, they give a proportional performance increase every time. Redshift में rendering time literally आधा हो चुका है, it's half. V-Ray and Octane, again we see a clear 200% increase, and DaVinci के GPU effects में we see a 150% relative performance improvement. And for those of you who are actually worrying कि ये गर्म चलेगा, इतना बड़ा GPU पास में डाल दिया है, do not worry. It's working at 75 degrees centigrade only, thanks to the 16 Noctua Fans. And in the future, it will probably run much cooler than that. दो और 4090 लगने वाला है. We can't wait. इसलिए इतना बड़ा केस लिया है. Can fit a lot of hard disks, a lot of pumps, piping, everything. And in case you are looking to get a build like this for your work, or something better than this for your work, or maybe just gaming for yourself, you know who to get in touch with. Until next time,